Hi guys, Kim here, design team member with Swirly Doos Kit Club. What I've got for you today is a quick step-by-step on a little canvas. I've got a 5x7 canvas here, and we're just going to make up a quick little canvas. I grabbed some things from my stash and some things that I've got from past Swirly Doos kits, and we're going to go ahead and make a canvas. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do some masking in the background. I've got the Tim Holtz mask, and I'm going to use some texture paste, some white crackle texture paste. So I'm going to go ahead and just randomly do some stenciling in the background here. Okay, so I've got my stenciling done there, and you know with crackle paste, you normally need to let it dry on its own to get the crackle effect, but for the sake of time, I'm going to go ahead and hit it with the heat gun. And I kind of marked off where my embellishments are going to be, so I just kind of did the stenciling around where my embellishments are going to be. Okay, it's dry to the touch on the surface, and I did get some crackling. I'm not sure if you can see that, but I did get some crackling even though I used the heat gun to dry it. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some random stamping on this. So what I'm going to use is a big background stamp. This is a Prima stamp. And I'm going to do some just random background stamping on it. I'm not even going to use a black on this. And I'm just going to use a Pitt pen instead of an ink pad. And I'm just going to go over some areas. And I just want to give it a little bit of stamping. And I'm just going to kiss the canvas. My stamping is done. You let that ink dry for a minute. And we're going to set that aside and let that dry a little bit more. But I've got some white flowers here, and I just want to give them a little bit of color. These are my color bloom sprays that I'm going to be using. And I just want to give them a little bit of color. Some of the blue, I think, is what I want to use. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to shake it up, and I'm going to mist a little just a little bit on to my mat, and I'm going to mist my flowers, and then I'm just going to take a little brush and pick up a little bit of that color. Set these aside, and we're going to go back to our canvas. And actually that was Dragonfly Blue is what I used for that. Alright, so now we're going to go back to our canvas, and I've got this frame that we're going to use in the center here. And so what I'm going to do is attach that with some 3D gloss gel. And yes, my frame is clear. It's going to get some color. We're going to use some gesso on that, but for the moment, we're going to attach it while it's clear. And we'll gesso it after I attach it to the canvas. And make sure I get a good amount of gloss gel on here to get this to secure. All right. And like I said, I kind of marked off where I wanted this to go. I'm going to stick that there and give a little weight to it so we know that it adheres. And in the meantime, we've got some other pieces. I'm going to be using this Relics and Artifacts flower. Also going to be using this jeweled heart that I had in my stash. Got a couple of keys, a few more flowers, and then I took one of the Timmy Chippies that we got and a pass kit, and we're also going to be using that for our title. And what I want to do is just add a little color to that. I think I've still got a little of the teal on my brush, so I'm just going to go over the edges and add a little color to the edges of this. Just don't want all that stark white. Alright, so there you have it. I've added some teal to it. It's not perfect, but that's absolutely fine. That's the way we want it. Don't want everything to be perfect. Sure, we got a good press on that. Next, I'm going to take some heavy gesso. I'm going to take my brush. I'm going to go ahead in a little bit, but because our frame is made out of resin, it's going to bend a little bit, so I don't want to add any heat to it. So we're just going to have to let that sit and dry. So, in the meantime, here we go. Let's try that again. We'll let that dry. And we will work on our flower here. I'm going to go ahead and add some gesso to that too, because we're probably going to be adding some color to our flower as well. So might as well go ahead and get that all gessoed up. Now this I can heat up to help speed up the drying process a little bit. Now what we want to do is we're going to go ahead and adhere this, and it's going to go right in the center here. And because it's going to be resting on our frame, we've got to make sure that we get this adhered down really well. And we're going to have to let this sit for a little bit. So again, I'm going to go back for my 3D gloss gel. Alright, and so the colors I've decided on, we're going to keep it in the blue tealish family. So we're going to be using some fairy palm and some brimstone wings. And I'm probably going to accent a little bit with either wild raspberry or some sugar plum. Not sure. And we're probably going to be adding a little more of the dragonfly blue in here. I'm just trying to go along with this nice blue that we've got here and just find some colors that are going to go ahead and complement it. We've also got a couple of keys that we're going to add to this and some more flowers. I'm going to add some white, keep some flowers white and some colored a little bit. Our flowers here are almost dry. We'll finish drying those off while we wait for this to set. And I'm going to try and add just a little bit of heat to it. Alright, so now first thing we're going to do is I'm going to go in with some fairy pond. I'm going to clean my brush because we're going to use our brush too to help move the color around. And I've got some gesso on there, so I want to clean my brush. And I also want to get a moist baby wipe to help soak up some of the color too as well. And I've got my water bottle here. So I'm going to start across the top here. I'm going to give it a little mist of water. You can see with the mist, the crackles are really showing up from the stenciling we did in the background. Alright, so you're just going to keep layering your colors until you're happy with your background. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go in with just a little bit of some of the brimstone wings. This is such a pretty green. There we are with the green. I think that's such a pretty color. I don't want to overdo it with my colors, because what I think I'm going to do is we're going to go in. I just want to clean up the edges of my canvas. I like to have my edges cleaned up a little bit. I think what we're going to do is go in with some metallic wax, and we'll add some more color to our flower and our frame with some metallic wax. We'll find a really nice color to add to that. I think we'll go with a little bit of the turquoise stain. See if that shows up. Now that just gives it a little shimmer. Let's find another color with some Inca Gold and turquoise. Now if you've never used Inca Gold before, it's almost the same as your metallic waxes. It's nice and creamy. And this again can be applied with your hands, as your fingers as well too. Just take a little bit, rub it in, and just rub it around your project. Now, that's a pretty color, but it's not giving me the dimension that I want. So let's try some green. Yeah, I'm liking the green better. This one is called Jade, and this is our Inca Gold. Alright, I'm much happier with the green that we've added, but we're still not done yet. I still want to add another color to that to give it a little more pop. So let's go in with silver. Let's see what a little bit of old silver will do for this as well. Look at that color. Isn't that gorgeous? So now we're just going to add some waxes to this as well. And actually I'm going to add some old silver wax to my heart. Now you see I've completely changed the color. It was brass and now it's silver. So now it kind of lines up and matches up with all the other elements on our canvas. And I've got a couple of keys that I'm going to do the same thing to as well. Alright, next it is time for us to add some more elements to it. Next up are going to be my keys. And now maybe add a few little art stones and some mini art stones. And there we have it. Cute little canvas. It says, "Listen to your heart." So this has been Kim for Swirly Doos Kit Club. I hope you enjoyed our little tutorial, even with the little bumps in the road. If you like what you've seen here, please check out the rest of our videos on our YouTube channel. We have tons of videos. They're free. Just subscribe to our channel or check out our forums at www.swirlydoos.com. Don't forget to check out our kits. We have monthly kits. They're amazing. If you do decide to subscribe, mention my name, Kim. You'll get 10% off your first kit and a coupon for 30% off of a purchase in the store, where you can buy lots of the products that I've just used here today. And you can create all the wonderful things that you see in our tutorial. So again, thanks for stopping by. Bye.